What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to another episode of the Nonstop Review. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
And today we're doing Nonstop, which means we don't really talk before the episodes. So I'm going to throw it over to Rick.
Steven Universe, Season 5, Episode 23 and 24, Reunited. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yes, so I know a precious little about this episode. I know this episode is the wedding episode. I also know that they put Ruby in a dress specifically to fuck over foreign markets.
Yes. Anyone who tries to say that, Ruby is the boy and Sapphire is the girl and this is a heteronormative couple, they get messed with in this episode.
As if women can't wear suits and men can't wear dresses, you know? Well, they can't in the societies that we're speaking of, but you know. What the fuck are we starting with?
Yeah, they're making this episode into a musical, it seems. Oh yeah, he's starting growing his one beard hair.
Right, yeah, and we know he's going to be a hairy fucker when he's older, because when he's Stefani...
Oh yeah. He's almost as beardy as Greg when he's Stefani.
Yeah. Yeah, can't blame you. Oh man, Pearl in a suit. Fuck. Ah. Oh.
Yeah. Man, I think my favourite is the little white stripe on the shoes.
Sure. Oh, I do also like that Pearl is just watching this entirely with confusion. I don't even want to talk. This is a very...
Yeah, it's bopping.
I wasn't even going to comment on the song. It's such a good narrative device. With, geez, that's awesome. I'm in love again.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't win. I'm like Pearl in a suit or Bismuth in armour. Oh, fuck.
I do also kind of dig Amethyst having a tank top on instead of a shirt.
Yeah. Maybe not pink ones.
Rose on the nose.
I didn't know Steven had such a good singing voice.
Yeah, me either.
Sorry, I'm a sucker for that dance move. Oh, she's clearly not doing a good job. Oh no, she's just being depressed. Okay, that's fair.
Oh, look at the little dress. And the bunny slippers. Or the fluffy slippers, sorry. I like the idea of him just like answering in song and Lapis is like, what the fuck?
And by Lapis you mean Peridot?
Oh yeah, I meant Peridot, yeah. Yeah, I said Lapis because Lapis was on screen at the time when I was saying it.
Yeah. I'm actually getting Futurama vibes where they're doing the play at the end of the original ending, it just everyone continues the song with their words, and it just gets to Zoidberg, and Zoidberg just goes, "I can't believe everybody's just ad-libbing."
Yep.
My days. Talk about people looking great in suits. Hey, that's way more than 10 people.
Yeah. It's like the whole town.
Mr. Smiley is still wearing shorts.
I love Peridot's like upside down smile whenever she's like determined.
Man, it really is such a fucking role reversal seeing Ruby in the dress, because it's not even Sapphire's fault, just Sapphire's regular design has her in a dress by default.
Yeah. Yeah, she just has a dress, yeah.
Yep, Onion's definitely not human or gem.
Mm-hmm.
Such an adorable way of putting it. That is a long time. Ah!
Yeah.
Is this wedding going to be adorable, but at the end of the episode we're going to see the diamonds appear and that's going to be the stinger?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, they've mentioned the diamonds several times throughout that song, and then Ruby just mentioned them again.
Hmm.
Like I'm doing my best not to devolve into full Hootie. When Hootie was getting Amity and Luz together.
Yeah. Good old not knocking on Hootie's door. Which is now celebrated instead of Harry Potter's birthday.
Good. Oh, there's
the
nothing
day.
better than an ugly cry.
Yeah.
It's just so enthusiastic.
Oh.
Del Malvara's a made-up state. Kiss, 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 fuse! Oh my god, I wasn't expecting her to be wearing that.
Yeah, she's got such a cool dress with this. It's great.
Yeah. How does the first dance work when you're one person?
I think you just bop with everyone else who's... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah, because she had the hots for her. He had the hots for her.
Yeah, he did. Like... just waltz off.
Man, there's nothing wrong with being stag at these things.
Yeah.
Did Ronaldo know Bismuth was going to wear armour, or did he just turn up in that? That's the question I want to know.
I think he just turned up in that, and I think he probably sees more in common with shape of hair than with wearing armour.
Maybe. Oh, Bismuth is next, which means Pearl and Bismuth lives.
Yes.
Oh no, that's the Blue Diamond thing, isn't it? Well, that's what happened when Blue Diamond came the first time.
Hmm.
Oh, I was really hoping this would just be a fluffy episode. Holy shit, fucking what's his name came for the wedding too? Greg's brother, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, the one who gave him the $1 million.
Wait, no, that was that didn't look like Marty. Marty's skinnier than that.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Marty.
The one with the fly, the plane.
Oh yeah, his cousin.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right, yeah, gems don't need that.
Yup.
Gotta appreciate Greg. Greg can't do much, but, like, he's trying. Wow. Well, it worked, so fuck everything.
It worked.
That's like the worst news possible, right?
Usually, yes.
Fucking hell, that is a grim visual. Okay.
Yeah, Earth has its own hand.
Who the fuck are these jobbers? Did you see that? Oh.
He brought the sword as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because as the cluster, it's essentially a big old forced fusion.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it's only of shards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's weird how during the action scenes the crying thing stops, right?
Yeah.
God damn, Blue's a big old lady.
She is. That's one hell of sleight of hand. Fuck another diamond.
It didn't. It almost worked last time, to his credit.
Yeah, yeah. Specifically on Blue.
I don't think she's in a listening mood. See, if he said that when he was in the courtroom in Homeworld, I think Blue would have been in a position to listen. But, you know.
Yeah. But you didn't know back then, so.
Yeah, yeah.
That's enough emotional destabilization to get rid of Alexandrite.
Yeah, interestingly, not enough to get rid of Garnet, though.
Yeah.
Oh, the crying thing only affects gems. That makes sense.
So technically it would only affect Steven half as much.
Yeah, but that's all it needs, really.
Yeah.
I'm actually worried when Connie's in the fray, because Connie can just die. I mean, I know she won't, because it's a kid's show, but...
Yeah, she doesn't have the contractual immortality that the gems have.
How dare you fuck up my wedding day? Oh, we're gearing up for a song. I can hear the beat.
Yeah.
Are we getting a reprise of Stronger Than You?
Maybe.
Sounds like a similar beat, that's all.
Because?
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I agree. It doesn't make an awful lot of sense for Lapis to come back at that moment, but sure. I'm sure they'll explain it in a moment.
Well, I think it's one of those of,
Aww.
yeah. Good old Future Vision helped.
I don't think that's going to take... Yeah. Thanks, Bismuth. I was thinking it. I was about to say it. Well, Lapis has power over water anyway, doesn't she? Jesus!
She does, yeah.
That line didn't have to go that hard. This has such a
really
final
looks like
boss
a full
fight,
party
right?
boss fight.
Oh, right, we are saying the exact same thing.
It's like a full party boss fight, like where the game's breaking its own rules to give you the full roster in one fight rather than just like your party of 4.
Okay, I appreciate the effort, Peridot, but fucking hell. Nothing beats a fastball special. What was it Wolverine said to She-Hulk? Rule number 1 of the fastball special. We do not talk about the fastball special.
Yeah. Because everyone gets to feel his ass.
Yep. And it never really matters because it's usually a bloke that's not interested in blokes. But She-Hulk is very horny almost all the time.
Yes.
That video game music. At least, yeah, he saved the cat, so full credit to him.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, please, I'm actually in extreme pain.
Existence is agony.
Yeah, as if that was you and not Bismuth.
Like Bismuth's a little one of I like you, Peridot. You don't quit.
I feel like that's a lot of the fan base's views on Peridot as well.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking Megazord bullshit.
Yeah.
This isn't Steven Universe, this is anime.
I mean, that's what Steven Universe is.
Well, that was, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of anticlimactic, but it was intentional.
Well, that would have been an ad break.
It would have been, yep.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's giving himself an out-of-body experience, as it were.
Yeah, what the shit? Fucking hell. Yellow's not fucking round, is she?
No.
Look at this video game
like...
screen!
Yeah, a good old battle within the centre of the mind.
Yeah, there's really would be no solution for the diamonds outside of outright murdering them if Pink was legitimately shattered.
Yeah.
They're fucking doing the fucking aura! Fucking hell!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole "You Are Not Alone" segment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just in backwards. Yeah, in reverse. Like it's him giving like inspiration to the whole party instead of the whole party trying to give Zidane his senses back, as it were.
Yeah, Blue's definitely the one you're going to be able to reason with between the two, right?
Yeah.
It's rather telling how everyone else is like fighting even in their mind versions, whereas Blue and Yellow are just sitting down and being miserable.
Yeah, because they don't need to put any effort in.
Jesus, okay. I guess he's not immune to damage in the psychic world.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, it seems to actually be working, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah.
Mostly because we've got 8 episodes left after this. Huh.
So if it weren't for the fact that there was a like a post credits teaser of what was to come, then I would basically have thought that this would have been the season finale, because at this point I think we knew that there was going to be a movie coming.
Yeah, okay. That preview sort of spoils things a little bit, because that would have been a perfect just ending, but we got a bit of a preview because reasons. And yeah, so we now know that 100% Blue and Yellow are just like, they just know now.
Yeah, they just know, they accept it, they like, they didn't have to, be convinced through language or trickery. They just got as much proof as they needed from Pink's aura that Steven was able to control in that moment.
Yeah, man. I don't really know what to say. Do your thoughts, Rick. I've got to compose myself.
So, yes, the episode was obviously a two-parter, and it was pretty much divided down the middle between the wedding part and the combat part.
A little bit. The wedding was like a third, and the rest was 2/3.
Yeah, so do you think it would be reasonable to give 2 MVPs?
I've always said, we've always done this, if an episode is 2 episode lengths worth of time and takes up 2 numbers, it gets 2 MVPs. When we do the final episode, which is like 4 or 5 episodes, it's going to get 4 or 5 MVPs.
Yes.
Because that's just how we're rolling with it. So yeah, we're absolutely doling out 2 MVPs this episode, because Bismuth wouldn't have 4 awards, and neither would Demayo. So, but yeah, what did you think, Rick? Is what I asked, and you decided to ask about MVPs.
I would say this is it's definitely among my favourite episodes. It might be the actual favourite. The other one in contention is the Lapis and Peridot with that one ruby, and I think this might have it.
Yeah, sure. If I had to do a top 5 episodes, this is instantly among the top. I think so far my favourite episode is still A Single Pale Rose. That was a hell of a one.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that is the Wham episode with the Wham line of I am Pink Diamond, or Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond.
Yeah, it was also just artistic and well done, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely top 3, definitely, potentially number 1. How about you? What do you reckon?
I think the pacing was fucking fantastic. We started with the song, and it was a bit confused. I was like, what the fuck? I even said, my words were, how the fuck are we starting this? What? We got through the song.
Yeah.
The song mentioned the diamonds looming attack several times, so much so that when they mentioned the diamonds in the speech that Ruby was giving, I was just like, oh, the back half of this episode's going to be the diamonds, isn't it? And you didn't even bother trying to hide it. You were like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. Then we had the prelude of Stephen crying, but like not crying, and it was like, oh, we've seen this before. 2 seconds later, there's Blue. We got the cluster emerging, and the cluster is has feelings and has essentially a personality, and they don't want to destroy the world, so they did their damnedest not to, and they didn't. A lot happened, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is possibly one of the most impactful episodes of the entire series.
It's a hell of a one, man, and obviously we've got the revelation at the end for not just everyone else, all the good guys. Yellow and Blue now know Stephen is pink, and they shouldn't be fighting him.
Yeah.
Again, it's been slightly spoiled by the preview that we know Yellow and Blue are just on board now. If not, I would have been hesitant to immediately think that, but hey-ho diddly do, that's just the way it went.
Yeah, so he's now got like two of the most powerful allies in the universe.
Who think they're basically going to treat him like their sister.
Yep, like a little sister who's been petulant and lost for quite some time.
Yeah, it's it's going to be interesting. I don't know how this series is going to end. I know we've not even seen White yet, apart from the silhouette on the homeworld, and I know White is still going to be an issue. We've also got 4 episodes, regular length, and the final episode, which is like 5 episodes long. So, you know, we've got we've got quite a lot of time still.
Yeah, we do. Although not a great deal. But yes, we're definitely gearing up towards the end game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that we've got a lot of time, as in there's stuff to wrap up. There's story left to be told. It's not like 1 or 2 episodes left where everything gets wrapped in a neat bow. No, we've still got trials and tribulations, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, so when we found out that we were getting a movie, my assumption was that after this, it was going to be like a feature-length finale episode.
Which you kind of get. The final episode is about 45 minutes.
Yeah, you kind of get that, and then we get the movie.
Yeah, which we will cover on the Nonstop, I think we've decided to do, but that'll be in the future. I didn't even do that on purpose. But yes, Rick, I suppose we should do our wind down. Do you have a favourite moment? It's quite a fucking few to choose from.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
You know what, Rick? Do 2.
Sure. So, I think the 2 that I would pick are the I do's. Specifically when Sapphire just says yes and says, what, I'm excited. And the other one is when Lapis reappears.
Yeah, that was a hell of a moment.
And it was Garnet saying, yeah, I just need you to not move from right here because, yeah, the barn now comes crashing down. So, yeah, those are my 2 favourites, including Lapis's immediate statement of, if they're going to punish me like a crystal gem, I might as well do the crime. How about you? What were your favourite moments?
I think it's cheating to say any moment before the 8-minute mark because that was just a wedding and it was all gold. So I'm just going to avoid that, but know that I loved it all the same.
Sure.
There are 2 moments that stood out and I adored both. The first one was Blue Diamond using her sadness beam, and we get the most epic fucking line that this show did not need of, why are you still standing, essentially, to Lapis, and Lapis is like, I felt worse.
Yep.
Like, that's a badass line in its own right, but it's also depressing, because Blue Diamond's power isn't just makes you cry, it makes you feel intense sorrow, and Lapis is claiming that, oh, she's felt worse than that, and considering she was chained at the bottom of the ocean, forced into a fusion with Jasper for quite a while, I'm inclined to believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the second one was Peridot being all confident, strolling up to Yellow Diamond. It's like, hey, Claude, do you remember me? And Yellow Diamond just going, no, and then instantly poofing her. And I'll tell you why. It's because it reminded me of Street Fighter, the movie, where M. Bison is just going like, you remember that day as the day M. Bison entered your life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
Yes. It just accentuates the different level that these villains work upon.
It's great. It was an awesome moment. Like, it's weird that Peridot and Lapis got both my favourite moments. But yeah, again, I was excluding the wedding because the wedding was just great. It was fun fluff. And what a tonal shift from that to we're fighting for our fucking lives, man. So that brings us to the MVP awards. Rick, we're giving out 2 each. So give your first, give a pause, and then give your second one because that lets me put the boards up properly.
Yeah, so my first MVP is to Garnet.
Yes.
And this is going to be basically the culmination of the wedding half of the episode, and I don't think you could get much more an iconic representation of this episode in particular than Garnet in the wedding dress suit. The fusion of the 2 costumes that Ruby and Sapphire had, and just dancing with herself.
Yeah, it's all very fluffy and fun, and also she's still wearing that suit while she's pushing against Blue Blue's leg. Granted, we learnt very quickly it was just a distraction, but it was quite a sight.
Yep. Even including that one last moment doing that. That just another way that she drove the episode, her episode.
Yeah, like she even says it, like when she's holding back, this was supposed to be my day, and it hurts a little bit.
Yes.
Usually when you hear that line, it's someone being a brat, but like this Reading Day will always be marred by the fact, and then the Fire Nation attacked.
Specifically, Garnet saying my day is the equivalent of anyone else as a couple saying our day. So it's inherently less selfish than it would be for any old bridezilla to be saying it. And then my second MVP goes to Blue Diamond. Out of the two, she is the one who drove the villainous conflict of this episode far more than Yellow Diamond did. Yes, Yellow Diamond came and got down to business, but Blue Diamond is the one who was basically toying with them on her own, with her own power in her own way, which may not have worked with Yellow by her side.
I mean, definitely not. Once the two worked together, it wasn't even an uphill battle. It was barely a battle. It was a curb stomp.
Yes, yeah. And like it seems to be that her MO right now, or up until the end of the episode, was just to not win, but to inflict as much suffering as possible to get even a small fragment of what she's been feeling over the past thousands of years.
Well, like we get an excellent insight. Like they used the psychic Stephen thing. I don't know how better to word it. Very well to full effect. Where couldn't even get close to Yellow. Yellow's feeling too much anger. But going to Blue, one of the first insights you get into Blue's mind is like, I want to crush these gems for what they did to Pink, but all I'm thinking about is Pink, and it's making me sadder.
Yep. So yes, I think she's possibly the most interesting character in this episode. In terms of like being able to analyze her and her hopes and fears and all that. So yeah, she gets my second MVP. So, how about you? Who are your MVPs for this episode?
I'm going to give my first MVP award to One Lapis.
Yes, he's the proponent of one of each of our favourite moments.
Yeah, man. It's one of those where I didn't expect to see her in this episode, so it was a legitimate surprise.
No, it was one of those things where, like, people wanted it, but they were willing to accept. We'd had her Nearly episode rather recently, and that didn't go well. And this is like the first time we've seen her since then, and it was great.
Like, we got a glimpse of her very early on during the song with it's still a very big influence on Peridot's source of sadness. I wasn't expecting her to come back at all. It was great, and it reminds us that actually Lapis is fucking strong. Don't fuck with Lapis.
Yes.
Like, it's easy to see Jasper as the strong one because physically she is impressive and mighty and does a lot of damage, but actually Lapis's control of water makes her super dangerous.
Yes, especially near or in water.
Yeah, it's helpful. It's a good thing we're in Beach City and not Desert City.
Yeah.
But yes, my second MVP is a no fucking brainer. It's Blue Diamond.
Yes.
We've said it often and we've said it loud. You're only as good as your villains, and Blue Diamond played the role perfectly. Because, okay, Rick, I bring this up on the Mainline podcast and a lot of episodes, is I'm sick of sympathetic villains because they're usually done poorly and ham-fistedly. But I don't think there's a better written sympathetic villain than Blue Diamond, because we get insights into her thinking all the goddamn time, and her thoughts are always the same in, I want to avenge Pink, but in the act of avenging, I'm just making myself sadder.
Yeah, it's one of those where she's less of a sympathetic villain and more of just a sympathetic person who happens to be an antagonist.
Sure, but antagonist and villain are more or less interchangeable in the lexicon nowadays.
Sure, but yeah, fair enough. Like, in my opinion, a villain is someone who sets out to do the villainous things.
But she is doing that.
Yeah, sure. Whereas an antagonist just so happens that what they are doing is against the protagonist of the story.
Yeah, no, I'd argue Blue Diamond is outright doing villainous things. Like she's trying to keep the Pink Diamond Zoo alive. I'd argue that's not villainous. What I do think is villainous is visiting Earth on the sly and then kidnapping another human, because fuck it, that's what Pink would have done.
Yeah.
And then again coming to Earth to unearth the cluster because they want to use it. I'd argue that's villainous.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Okay, fair enough.
It's one of those where a lot of her motivation is, how dare you stand where Pink stood? Why would you murder my sister? She didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, by gem standards, that's arguably correct. By human standards, pretty much the Crystal Gem race are more or less genocidal maniacs.
Well, like, humans to gems are essentially like fungal spores on your bread. Like, they're just something that just so happens to be on the thing that you're trying to create.
That's not really a fair comparison, because you're assuming that I'm sure that's what gems may think, but the moment you can have a conversation with something means that stops being true. Bear in mind, they only didn't do Earth in because Pink was in charge and she learned. How many other alien species have been completely eradicated and taken off the board? Which is why I call them genocidal, because if they've literally obliterated races to make room for their kindergartens, that's what the definition of genocide is: destroying a race of people.
Sure, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, by gem standards, I'm sure that's not evil at all, but by almost any sentient being standards, it's quite an evil act.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, morals aside, we're gonna have this debate again. I can just feel it. But yeah, join us again next week, where we see the fallout, which we already know is kind of going to be a face turn for Blue and Yellow by the looks of it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of slice of life of Blue and Yellow on Earth, learning what the universe is outside of Diamond Dogma.
I'm also curious to see how many out of the trio of diamonds Greg can hit. I'm going to assume it's going to remain at 1, but if this was a slightly more adult franchise, I bet Greg would be like, yeah, I could give it a go.
Do I hear 3?
Oh, that's a good one. Awesome. Join us again next week, guys, where we'll be equally perverted.
Bye.